Hi, I'm Jason Sandahl. I'm a cherry farmer in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. It's pretty cold here now, and the trees are resting, as you can see. But what's also resting in the cracks in the bark and in the soils are the insects and fungus that I'll be battling in the spring. Growing cherries is very hard, but selling the cherries is pretty hard too. Cherries have to be harvested, packed, and sold within a matter of days. And this is when the cherries are full of their sugars, their skins become very delicate, and they are most susceptible to molds and insects. In almost every season, there comes a time when I need to make a pretty big decision. Do I do everything I can to protect my crop, or do I need to worry about losing a lucrative export market? I think most farmers would say the same thing. I'm going to always protect my crop. I only have certain crop protection sprays I can use to battle my biggest enemies, which are brown rot and fruit flies. Even though I'm following the pesticide laws in the United States, how much to spray, when I can spray, sometimes other countries don't allow any detection of these spray residues, or they sometimes only allow such a small amount that I wouldn't be able to use these chemicals at all. But if I don't use them according to the label and instructions, like if I were to try to lower the rate or to try to stretch out the timing of the sprays to try to reduce the residues, they wouldn't work right, and my cherries would be covered in mold and full of fruit fly maggots, which would ruin my entire crop. This is what I mean. At harvest, I take a sample of my cherries to a pesticide lab to see what chemicals may still be on the fruit. And here's an example of one of these reports. What it shows is that for one of the most important fungicides to control brown rot, called triflumazole, it shows that I'm using it properly and complying with US residue standards. The same for fenpropythrin to control the fruit fly. I'm also using this one like I should, and the remaining trace levels of chemicals are normal and expected. It also shows that I can export the cherries to many countries around the world as I comply with their country standards, as well as Codex, which is the international standard. But it also shows I can't sell my cherries in Europe because their standards are so low for both of these chemicals. If I were to try to meet the European standards, I would need to significantly change the way I try to protect my crops, which would result in moldy and fly infested fruit. So, in the end, I still know I made the right decision. My first priority is always to protect my very valuable crop any way I can, even if it means losing an export opportunity.